Loic Serra has great experience and will be a key element in our organization. He also brings extensive trackside knowledge, which is important for the team. This is how Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur describes Loic Serra, newly appointed as Ferrari's technical director, and looking at his resume, it's easy to see why. The French engineer has a background in the research and development department of Michelin's Formula One program from 2003 to 2006. Loic Serra then moved to Sauber, and in 2010 to Mercedes, working in both cases in the performance field. It's not aerodynamic expertise that makes the new technical director stand out, but rather his years spent working on vehicle dynamics, suspension, and fine-tuning, learning how to make a car operate at its maximum potential. More than just skills, Loic Serra brings a mindset that will shape future Ferrari cars, starting with how they should behave on track. Loic Serra's work history demonstrates a deep understanding of what allows a project to fully express its potential and what design characteristics translate into lap time gains. The trackside experience of the new technical director enables him to listen to and understand the needs of the drivers, which he then translates into numerical objectives for the design team. Formula One teaches that aerodynamic load and efficiency cannot be ends in themselves, but must be usable by the driver. This means ensuring the correct load distribution on all four wheels, seeking a balance that caters to the driver's preferences through all phases of a corner. Especially with the sudden nature of ground effect cars, it is crucial to deliver a drivable car, giving the driver the confidence needed to push it to the limit and unlock the project's potential. The same goes for tires, with Loic Serra highly skilled in understanding how the distribution of aerodynamic loads and suspension characteristics impact tire performance. In the field of performance, the value of a wide operating window is well known, meaning a robust car whose competitiveness is minimally affected by changing external conditions. Lastly, but no less importantly, those who work on vehicle dynamics and fine-tuning know the importance of a suspension system that offers numerous adjustment options. Ferrari now has a new technical director who is deeply knowledgeable about all the practical needs of a car on track, and it is believed that he will strive to meet those needs with the upcoming projects developed under his leadership. With Loic Serra's appointment, Scuderia Ferrari is moving toward a conceptual shift in its car design, which should not be confused with mere aerodynamic lines. Rather, it involves the process through which you decide what you consider beneficial and what not. Using the words of Mercedes technical director James Allison, who in a recent interview for Sky Sport F1, explained that it is the method for filtering the countless solutions you could implement in the car and finding only those you truly believe can improve lap time. With Loic Serra, Ferrari is therefore embracing a change in concept, understood as a methodology, of which the car itself will be merely the result. The new technical director's task will be to leverage his experience in identifying the most rewarding traits on the track and translating them into numerical objectives, such as load distribution across different configurations, stability, resilience to external conditions, suspension characteristics, vehicle dynamics parameters, and so on. Taking into consideration Loic Serra's area of expertise, it will be up to the other department heads, such as newly appointed head of aerodynamics Diego Tondi, to devise the architectures and solutions best suited to achieve these goals in the short and medium future. The Ferrari F1 cars in recent years have suffered from problems with balance, stability, and drivability. The latest Ferrari single-seaters have shown flashes of excellent performance, but at the same time limited to qualifying sessions and certain specific track conditions. This reflects a Maranello team capable of developing cars with very high peaks in terms of load and efficiency, but which have always been restricted by a narrow operating window, poor drivability, and, as a result, limited usability during the entire Formula One championship. There is great curiosity to see whether Loic Serra will indeed be able to better channel the skills already present in Maranello, translating aerodynamic development into cars that are more consistent, predictable, and capable of fighting for the Formula One championship. In this regard, the choice of the new technical director perfectly aligns with the revolution undertaken this year with the SF24, where drivability and race performance were placed at the heart of the Formula One project. The 2024 Formula One Championship is entering its final stages, with the title race still wide open. After a strong start, Red Bull has started to fall behind, partly due to correlation issues between the wind tunnel, simulation tools like CFD, and the track, with the team now trying to recover and inject new energy into the World Championship battle. However, the issue of missed correlation doesn't only concern Red Bull. A key aspect of this season has been the development difficulties faced by several teams throughout the championship. Ferrari, Mercedes, Aston Martin, and Racing Bulls, for example, had to revert some specifications after encountering correlation issues with the new packages introduced mid-season, as they pushed for more aerodynamic downforce, often facing an old enemy, bouncing. Developing these cars is becoming increasingly complex, and the challenge is no longer just about finding pure aerodynamic downforce, but above all, about achieving the right balance to maximize the car's performance and give the drivers confidence in the vehicle. It's no coincidence that, for example, McLaren has taken a more cautious approach to upgrades, introducing packages only when they are fully satisfied with the wind tunnel results, with the floor, arguably the most sensitive element, remaining unchanged for several races. With these ground effect cars gradually reaching their limits, finding more downforce is proving to be a double-edged sword, as the risk is encountering unwanted effects. But why is it becoming more and more difficult to extract that extra performance from the wind tunnel and simulations, sometimes facing correlation problems? First, it's worth taking a step back to the method teams use to predict bouncing, that extremely tedious phenomenon with this generation of cars that is, however, very difficult to replicate during the development phase in the factory. Teams also rely on simulations and other tools to try to predict bouncing, using the data accumulated throughout the season. But when trying to change the floor design or add more downforce, the risk is that the algorithms don't reveal the truth of the track. In the wind tunnel, teams have rotating platforms that allow them to move the car relative to the headwind, simulating different scenarios to understand the behavior of the airflow in corners, where instability problems often arise. For example, at Sauber in Hinwil, this system that allows the car to rotate in the wind tunnel has existed for several years, albeit with a limited angle. However, the fact that it works even in motion allows for a large amount of data to be collected, simulating how the airflow changes. With these ground effect cars, though, the issue of floor proximity to the asphalt is becoming increasingly critical, especially when teams are chasing the last few tenths of performance. It's difficult to simulate these aspects in the wind tunnel, as the risk is damaging the tunnel's floor. It's no coincidence that several manufacturers are investing in state-of-the-art facilities, like different materials for wind tunnel carpets, or even entirely new ones. Ferrari used the summer break to work on this front, while McLaren and Aston Martin have developed upgraded facilities, a path followed by Red Bull, although the Milton Keynes team won't be ready until 2026. One of McLaren's crucial aspects is that they have managed to find downforce over time, but also maintain good balance without encountering bouncing.